Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I am Connor Williams and we're back once again with another 24/7 news report. We start this news report video off as always with our headline news, and our headline news is some transfer news. Yeah, it's a bit of a change, no manager news, no needed. You know, it's a nice change of pace actually to have some transfer news for you all. And we start off with some big transfer news for our headline. Everton have held talks with Brighton regarding defender Ben White and regarding a £50 million move. No formal offer has been made yet by Everton, but they have indicated they are prepared to pay £50 million, with £20 million being paid up front and £30 million over the case of 4 years. And this has come from Matt Hughes DM on Twitter. For me, I mean, he's a great player. He's really good. Leeds wanted him permanently when they had him on loan in the Championship. I've watched a lot of Brighton this year. A big fan of him there. Big fan of how he suits Potter's style. He's a very good player. My only reservations is 50 million is a lot of money for. Although I guess if you spread it over how they say, it's not that much. I guess spread over years. But it's a lot of money for a position I don't think we need necessarily. We've got a lot of depth at centre back. We've got Yerry Mina, who's having a great Copa America. We've got Michael Keane, obviously, Mason Holgate, and Ben Godfrey. Unless Rafa Benitez, the only thing I could think is Rafa Benitez has seen someone he doesn't like or he's hoping to ship out, and that makes more sense. And also, it ties in with what I'm about to say now. I don't know how well Ben White plays in a three-man formation, you know, free centre-back. And Rafa tends to play a 4-2-3-1, 4-5-1 defensively. And I think at his time in Real Madrid, he did play the 4-3-3. Purely because he mainly plays the 4-5-1, 4-2-3-1 because of the double pivot and the centre-backs. So you've got 4 players who defend, and it gives a lot more for your wingers, full-backs to go forward. And he plays direct football. So we won't be playing a 5-back, I can assume, under him, unless he's, you know, completely changed since the last time he managed and he's going to try something radical at Everton. Which in that case, I don't know. I mean, Ben White can probably play in the 2. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, you know, he's going to be an absolute shambles. I'm just saying he looks a lot better in a 3. But I mean, he's highly, you know, he'll be highly easily transferable. But it does look like someone might be out then. The only other thing as well is I think. I personally would go with the likes of Yerry Mina and Ben Godfrey, pace and physical prowess. But we'll have to wait and see what Rafa does. You know, if this is a Rafa signing, we'll have to see how it goes. He's a very good player. It's a very attractive, you know, transfer. 50 million, Brighton will be laughing as well, because that gives them a lot of money to spend then, because they're a club, you know, don't have abundance of money to spend. So it'll be good for Brighton. But ultimately, yeah, it's one of them. I quite like the player. I'd be quite excited to see him at Everton. I'm more interested to see who would have to leave. If I had to pick, it'd probably be Mason Holgate, just because he's had a poor end to the season. But he's still got youth on his side, so I don't know. It's a catch-22. But it's interesting, and it's nice to be linked with a good player. You know, it's nice to have a transfer news as well, isn't it? A bit of a change. But we move on to more transfer news now, and Everton have inquired to Barcelona about potentially signing Philippe Coutinho. It would be on loan with an option to buy, and this has come from Villajes on Twitter. I mean, for me, this is a exact replacement of Rodriguez, if Rodriguez is to go, as reported and rumoured. He would be your creative midfielder. If Rafa's going to play his 4-2-3-1, you'd expect Coutinho to be the number 10, the cam, especially if Sigurdsson's going, which it looks like Sigurdsson is going to go. So, you know, that would make sense. If they're both going, we do need a number 10, and we don't have one at the club, so that would make sense. I haven't seen Coutinho play an awful lot for a while. I don't think he gets games at Barcelona, but even then, I'm going to be honest, I don't watch a lot of Barcelona games. So I don't know how he plays. I obviously know him from his time in the Premier League, and he was fantastic in the Premier League, as much as that pains me to say. But yeah, I mean, he will be our luxury player, I think. One that is there to, you know, have that bit of quality to pick out a ball. Although I always thought Coutinho was more of a dribbler than a playmaker. He's the type that, you know, would do a couple of people, and he was synonymous with this. finessing the ball into the top corners. He cut inside, finesse, goal. There's plenty of his goals for Liverpool were scored like that. But it is that bit of magic, that bit of quality that can, unlock a game, change a game. I think having him on loan with the option to buy is very clever. I know Rodriguez we got for free, but saying off we paid for him, he wants to go after one season now. It's a bit annoying. Whereas this way it gives us and Coutinho the option of, do we like him? Does he want to stay? If so, brilliant, sign him up, get a contract done, easy. If not, nothing lost, nothing ventured, nothing lost, nothing gained, whatever the saying is. So yeah, I mean, this is really astute business by Everton. It reminds me of when we got Josh King on a 6-month contract. I thought that was very clever of us. And if he's anything like this, like the player he was at Liverpool, we look to be on to a winner there. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. We also have the news that Ryan Astley, the under-23s defender, has signed a new 2-year contract with the club, seeing him out till 2023. I quite like this. He's a highly anticipated defender, highly rated, highly regarded. Arsenal were after him and looking at him earlier on in his career. I'd like to see him go out on loan. I'd like to see a couple of the under-21s go out on loan. I'd like to see Ellis Sims go back to Blackpool now that they've been promoted, and I think they'll play him. Just because you can't stay in the under-23s till you're Luke Garber age, like 26, and, you need to start pushing the first team after the age of 23, ideally, I think. But, this looks really good. I'm really happy with this. I've got no qualms with it whatsoever. The next bit of news is quite exciting. Everton have announced that the construction on the new stadium, Bramley Moor Dock, will begin on the 26th of July this year. I will say this. I know there's skeptics out there that are saying, you announced it yesterday after the Benitez stuff. It's very clear what you're doing. I'm just going to say this now. I said to my dad the day after the Benitez signing that we should unveil the home kit as a smoke and mirrors, and it's something fans are excited for. So I was sat at home thinking the same thing, only this is a lot better than a home kit. This is really exciting news. So, skeptics are like, this is still exciting, whether you believe the skeptics or not, whether you believe it was Fad trying to do a quick PR move or not. This is really exciting. And it's something that we've been promised. It's one of the main instigators of this project. Since Fad came in, he said that we were going to get a new stadium. And the stadium's just going to bring so much. It's going to rejuvenate the whole of that area of Liverpool. Down there in the docks. It's going to bring in so much business. There's going to be more than just a football ground. There's going to have shops, complexes by the images we've seen. It really does look fantastic, and I'm really excited. There's obviously more seats, which means more season tickets, which means more money, which means more to spend and more progression. I'm excited. I mean, I don't know if you can tell, but I am absolutely gassed. I'm really excited for it. I can't wait for it. I do have a video coming out with the Esk very soon. He will be able to talk about this a lot more and the business side of it. I know Fad Majiri is apparently paying the first lot of construction work or something, but the Esk will be able to explain it all to you a lot better than me. He's very informative, he's very clever, and he's very good at the business side of stuff. So keep an eye out for that, because it will be a great video. It'll be informative as always, and it's always a pleasure speaking to him. So please do keep a lookout for that, and if you're worried you might miss it, subscribe to the Toffee Blue, and you're not a subscriber, subscribe to the Toffee Blues now, because you won't miss it. It promises to be a really good video, especially if you like the business side of stuff and how the clubs run. He's very good. We do have our last bit of news for this evening, and it is that Paris Saint-Germain are reported to be close to signing Moise Kean from Everton. This has come from Fabrizio Romano via TBR Football. He will join them again on loan with an option to buy. I mean, I've just praised Everton for their astute business. This one I'm going to criticise them because I've heard, I'm not going to criticise them because it depends on what the actual contract is, but I've heard it would be a 35, so we break even euros. For me, I think he's a young player who's got a lot of potential. He's going to be very good. He's one of those where we could look at it either like, we should have never sold him, or, and I think this is a nailed on one, we're going to look at it going, God, we should have got a lot more money for him than we did. PSG have got the money. They've just spent 70 odd million on Hakimi from Inter. They've got the money. And I think they're being clever here, because if they do another loan, there's another year off his contract, and that's why they're getting the 35. And I feel like that's why Everton might accept it, because they go, well, he's got, less years. You don't want the player to run his contract down and go for free, because we've been hurt by that before, and we don't want that. Players running down years on their contract to go for cheap. And more importantly, I don't think the lad wants to stay at Everton, and you can't have that type of atmosphere, that type of attitude in the squad. So if he doesn't want to stay, all the best to him. I think he's going to be a very good player. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to stay, we need players who want to stay and fight for the club. And if that's not him, then that's not him. But that is everything we've got time for today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you're not subscribing already. Comment down below on anything I've discussed. I do like reading your comments. I do read them after every video I do. So comment down below your thoughts on Ben White. Are you excited by him? He's a very good player. How do you think he'll suit Rafa's formations? Let me know what you think about Philip Coutinho. Let me know if you like it, don't like it. Let me know down below. Same, well, the stadium, I'm assuming you will all be excited for, but some of you might not. So let us know, are you excited to move into Bramley more? Does that type of thing excite you? And let us know about the Moise Kean deal. Do you think we are going to end up looking back on this like we've been had off there? Or do you think, just get him gone as quickly as we can and move on with, with Everton, moving on forward? But yeah, you can also follow the Toffee Blues on Twitter, please, if you're not already. I really heavily suggest you do, because they're absolutely fantastic for breaking Everton news. This isn't biased. This is me giving, as a fan, I've been following them for years before I started doing this for them. Everton news, they're very reliable. As soon as they find it, they put it on. You'll never miss anything if you follow them. And you can also follow me if you want on Twitter. Both our links will be in the description down below. And most importantly, guys, stay safe. Have a lovely weekend. There is football on. It is the Euros. It's all exciting. And I will see you soon.